And we're back, and we're going to talk about what things actually get made here in Colorado that you can sell to other people and make money and hopefully make their life better and make an economy run. And here to talk about it are a couple of reporters who cover manufacturing here in Colorado. Cathy Proctor from the Denver Business Journal. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
All right. And what's your beat over there?
Well, I cover energy. In addition to that, that's my main beat, energy. I do transportation, manufacturing, agriculture, and natural resources.
Fantastic. And then Eric Peterson, you write for CoBiz magazine.
Yeah, Colorado Biz, yes.
Colorado Biz. And then you also do a newsletter on manufacturing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's Company Week. It's at companyweek.com. We do a weekly newsletter where we usually profile 3 Colorado manufacturers, each in any given sector, everything from beer to spirits to rockets.
All right. Well, we do know that Colorado produces a few things really, really well. Produce beer, now wine, craft spirits, and pot. So we know we do the 4 most important things really, really well. But there's also this narrative that's out there sometimes that people say, we just don't make stuff in the United States anymore, right? That everything's been offshored off to China or India or Indonesia or wherever it is. And while manufacturing has certainly changed from the turn of the century, it certainly doesn't look the same way it does. We actually still make stuff in the United States, and we actually make stuff, actually put stuff together here in Colorado. That's right?
Absolutely, we do.
And in fact, you were covering today, this is Thursday, taping Thursday, air tomorrow.
Right.
You're covering manufacturing get-together. Tell us about that.
That's right. I just came from there. It's the Colorado Advanced Manufacturing Association, and they're having their annual summit, annual manufacturing summit for folks from all across Colorado. So this association has only been around for 3 years. They just started, and they had more than 200 people in the room today. It's all day long, and it's kind of dovetailing off of a national event, which is actually occurring tomorrow, the day that the show airs, which is National Manufacturing Day.
Right.
And there's going to be thousands of activities going on all across the country, including here in Denver.
I'd love to take credit and say that I knew tomorrow was National Manufacturing Day and put this specifically together for that, but I did not. In fact, one of the things that prompted this show is that you put this together for CoBiz Mag, and this is an annual edition that's local pride. It's Colorado-specific products.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, we've done that for 4 years now. That's the 4th year. The 2016 will be the 5th. It'll come up probably in about March is when we do it. But yeah, we used to do things that were designed in Colorado and not made in Colorado. That was just the first year. And then we said, well, if we're going to call this made in Colorado, it better be made in Colorado. So now we vet everything from brewers to, all the good ones that you mentioned. But, we've covered everything from skis to amusement park rides to, nuclear storage tanks, all sorts of stuff, so it covers the gamut. We still make a ton of stuff in Colorado, nationally, obviously.
Well, does the fact that this CAMA is only a couple years old a sign that manufacturing is expanding and that they're seeing opportunity in Colorado? Is that, was that a rebirth of something else?
Well, I think it's part of a larger narrative of manufacturing coming back to the United States. I mean, many years ago, as you indicated, manufacturing went to China. So many things that we used to make here left. But now it's coming back. Part of that shale gale, the low energy prices that we've seen for natural gas and energy are attracting folks, as well as the fact that manufacturing has advanced. It's changed from what it used to be. It's not one person or 20 people on an assembly line. There's automation, there's robots. So one person can do the work of 2 or 3 or 4. And it's becoming more efficient, it's becoming profitable. And that's one of the reasons it's coming back here nationwide as well as in Colorado.
So that's really interesting that American companies who have shipped manufacturing overseas now some of them anyway, are starting to bring it back over here. And a big part of that is that the U.S. is a reliable and inexpensive energy supplier, right? Speak to that?
Well, they call it reshoring, and there's a lot of higher margin stuff or stuff that it's critical to turn around quickly. The shipping time and the turnaround time is very long when you're getting stuff made in China. But there's lots of companies in Colorado, tons of manufacturers in Denver that have taken advantage of that quick turnaround time and also the quality and usually with higher margin stuff that they can bring back here, and that's happening left and right.
So it's becoming a better deal to bring that back here to the U.S. rather than make it somewhere else and then ship it that it's working out for them.
And you can be responsive. I mean, there's a lot of companies that are saying, hey, let's do a real custom thing.
Right.
Let's make even to order. We've got Gorilla Gravity that just took the Jumpstart BizPlan Awards as part of Denver Startup Week. They won that, and they basically make every bike custom, you know, and it's online, a very nice interface. I was just telling Cathy about this company not far from the studio here, Omerica Organic, and they make those earplugs that, you know, stretch out kids' earlobes, but they're very high tech about it. Each order on the website sends a file to their tradesmen who operate the lathes and carve these things, you know, and it's all automated, but I mean, it's one of the highest tech little factories you'll see, and they're making earplugs and body jewelry.
That's hilarious. I always wondered, I actually wondered where those things came from. Actually.
2 blocks away.
2 blocks away from here. What do you?
We can go over after the
We
show.
can go get the gauges. Is that they're called, the gauge?
I think he calls them just earplugs.
Earplugs.
But I mean, I know that's the same. It's not the ones that go in your ear. It's the one that goes in the lobe.
Right, in the lobe of the ear. All right, so let's do this. Let's the Rocky Mountain West in Denver. I mean, this has never been known as a manufacturing hub. Back in the day, the turn of the century, the East Coast with the mills and then the steel plants, et cetera. And so we weren't necessarily, but technology innovation has allowed manufacturing to become smaller, more efficient, and also to go where people want to go, where the opportunity is, right? I mean, it's not like you need a massive plant necessarily anymore to make things you can now make in a fairly small facility.
It kind of depends. I mean, there are some things that require a large facility. Vestas comes to mind. They have 4 plants here in Colorado, and they make those gigantic wind turbines.
Wait, but that's really interesting to me because they are massive.
They
and
are
you see them,
huge.
They have to ship them on a rail car, but they're actually
Yes.
physically putting those together here
They
locally,
are.
right?
Well, they're putting the pieces and parts, and then they ship them out to the wind farm. Now, one of the things with Colorado, again, location is everything. We are on the edge of the gigantic wind corridor, right through the middle of the country, and we have NREL here. And a lot of scientists who are focused in on wind and energy, they put their plant here. They employ about 2,000 people here, and they are building the giant blades, the towers, and the nacelles that sit up on top of that.
Right. And you mentioned a big-time snowboard, ski, skateboard maker. Tell us about those guys.
Never Summer Industries.
Never Summers. You have seen the bumper stickers.
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the most popular brands. They're known for innovation. They hold several patents on their snowboards. They make skateboards, and then they act as an OEM for several ski brands, including Icelantic, another great Denver company. And you know, they are the largest domestic manufacturer of snowboards at this point because almost every other big brand on the market shipped everything to China, including Burton, one of the market leaders there. So you pay a little bit more for the snowboards, but they're known for their quality, and you know, a lot of people, especially Colorado pride, you know, you want not just made in the USA, you want made in Colorado if you're hitting those slopes, right?
No, I actually know people now who you know, I know people who take time and they actually look at labels, especially with their clothing. And now more and more that they're looking for things that are being made locally, and they're willing to pay a little bit more for it.
Sure. I would say there's probably in excess of 20 companies making skis and snowboards in Colorado. Some from Beetle Kill. You know, we've got Weston and Minturn making it from Beetle Kill, Meyer Skis in Glenwood making it from Beetle Kill with Beetlewood cores, at least on skis. And I mean, some of them are just a guy in the garage, but some of them, you know, get up to like the Never Summer size, which is 100+ employees.
So they're making them locally, but they're also sourcing material locally.
Some of them, I mean, on some of this carbon and composite stuff, you're probably getting from out of state, depends on the company.
Sure, but it was a great use. For years and years, we wondered what the heck to do with all the Beetle Kill out there.
Make a lot of skis out of all those.
I see a lot of siding being made out of this. Houses being built out of it now.
There's well, the problem, once again, I mean, we were talking about shipping. It's just expensive to ship the stuff anywhere for its value. I mean, they tried to make they are making pellets up at Confluence Energy in Kremling, and you can power Kremling, but I think it becomes cost prohibitive. You know about this more than I do, I'm sure, to ship it down to the Front Range to power our power plants, right?
It is. It's a little expensive to ship, and the other problem is that the natural gas prices are so cheap right now
exactly.
that by the time you get natural gas out of the ground versus you know, shipping a pellet out of the Rocky Mountains, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, but what can you do on the mass scale with this resource in manufacturing? I guess is what you're saying on Beetle Kill. It's either high-end stuff like skis or furniture, or you probably could make way more of it than the market ever needs. We got to figure out a use where it's kind of middle of the road and but still cost-effective to ship it.
Good. I got to tell you, it seems to me that Denver would actually be a fairly tough place to open up a manufacturing facility. A couple of reasons. First off, if you tried to buy a house lately, you know that housing costs are high, and wages are fairly high here. But more importantly, you can't find a warehouse to save your life because they're all growing pot. right? And so how does that tie into this? How's that? Is this something that's spreading out around the metro area? Or is it inside Denver? Or is it going out statewide? It seems like the further reaches of the state, you might have trouble finding a readily trainable workforce, but you could find land available pretty cheaply.
I was going to say, the thing that I hear most often from the executives is the need for workforce, a trained workforce. Number one, we have the people who live here in Colorado are very well educated, and that attracts a lot of people. But training them for manufacturing, I mean, remember, we set most of this industry offshore.
Right.
And at the same time, the people who are in the industry aged. They are retiring. They are boomers, and you have an entire generation.
They want their job back.
No, well, you have an entire generation of it's funny, mothers like me. I have a 13-year-old boy. I am the prime target for the industry right now to teach me and people like me that there is a job and a career for their children. And so they are right now, CAMA is really launching a very huge effort to reach out to the educators, to reach out to the parents, to say that your next generation, those kids who are on your couch, who are playing the video games and going like this, those skills are transferable into a six-figure job.
Interesting.
In a manufacturing plant here in Denver.
Where does Colorado fall? Real quick, we're running out of time, but where does Colorado fall in manufacturing in the country? We're certainly not top tier, right?
Yeah, last I saw was research from CU that pegged us at 30th. I mean, that's 100. They said about 140,000 jobs, and that was earlier in the year. But that number is still lower than it was in 2007. I mean, we still have not fully recovered our manufacturing job bases that we lost in the recession. So while we're one of the fastest growing states, we've been third and fifth and seventh, I believe, in the last 3 years in terms of manufacturing job growth. But we're still not even back to where we were at square one.
Sounds like we're doing pretty well, though.
We're doing great.
We're out of time. Thanks very much for coming. Check out independenceinstitute.org, and we'll see you next week.